So today I want to talk about how much I hate living in Canada and how I have been miserable here for most of my life. And at the age of 26, I finally decided to move. So there is a whole list of things that makes me hate Canada, and no one can change my mind about it. First and foremost, the weather. I tried talking about this with a couple friends that I have that moved from the States to Canada, and all of their opinion was like, it really depends on your mindset. If you're a happy person, you'd be happy anywhere in the world, and it shouldn't let you be that affected. But if you're not, and if there's some underlying issues, then maybe you should figure that out first before, you know, choosing to move. But I genuinely feel like a person can totally blossom in a certain weather and be totally different in another. And imagine living in a place where it snows and it's like the sun sets at like 5 p.m. for like 9 months a year, and it's dark, it's gray, there's no color in the city. People don't really want to interact with each other. Super individualistic culture, just like any other American country, obviously. And then on top of that, you're earning a very basic amount of money. You get 3 weeks of leave. You can probably leave the country during that time for 3 weeks in every 9 months of a year to maybe Mexico, Barbados, I don't know, Puerto Rico, Costa Rica. But you have to come back because this is life. You can only escape reality for a little bit, but you're back to square one. So what's the point? And the number of issues that come with the fact that it's winter and there's no one outside. You go outside and it's a ghost town. There's not much to do. Obviously you can go skiing, but how many times a week do you really want to go skiing? The nearest skiing place from Toronto, where I live in, is like a 2-hour drive. I don't own a car. Nearly impossible to get there with public transit. And I'm just not a big fan of being outdoors for so many hours a day with my hands and feet extremely cold. And it's like I can barely touch or feel my face or anything. I also feel like dressing up and feeling sexy is very important to me. And I can only do that in a stable 20-degree weather. Let's say you wear a super puffer and like multiple layered pants every single year for 9 months straight. It doesn't matter if you look sexy. What are you gonna do only in this part? Nothing, not much. It can only go so far. Most people over here don't really wear colors. There's only jackets in black, blue, white, gray. Those are all the colors you'll see on the street, and most companies cater to that because we're in the world of minimalism and wearing colors is almost like a fatal flaw. I don't want that. I want to wear colors. I want to feel like myself. I want to express myself, and dressing up is a way of expressing myself. And I feel like I can only do so much by wearing a fur coat and wear boots. And to all the girlies that expose their legs and like chest or back in the winter and they're freezing cold, you do you. That's just not me. I feel like it's kind of forcing it. I don't think it's ultimate comfort for me to be out in minus 40 degrees with my legs almost numb and I cannot feel anything. I go out for one night, come back home, and then I have a flu for 4 weeks after. Fuck no. Right? That is not me. And kudos to people that actually survived that and feel like, woohoo, I had the time of my life. How about you live in a country where it's warm every day? You don't really get flu for like 4 months a year, and it keeps coming. You lose it, it keeps coming. And every time I have a conversation with my coworkers, they're always talking about how their kid had a flu, their husband had a flu, they're getting over a flu, and the precautions and the little things that they were doing to make themselves feel better. Like, why? And then you pay so much in taxes. Every time you go out to eat something, buy something, you have to always worry about money. Are you overspending? Are you going out of your budget? You have loans, you have mortgage, you have bills to pay. It's like there's stress. Weather isn't there. Life isn't enjoyable. You're constantly worrying about something. People are kind of like stuck up. Not many activities you can do during the winter. How many pottery classes are you gonna take, really? Or yoga classes? You go to yoga classes, and after class no one really interacts with you. They finish their class, they go home. That's like most studios here, right? And you make friends, and they're just there to kind of like hang out with you, go to bars, and when you're home, you're alone and you're just done for the day. A lot of people watch shows. I feel like watching shows is a very big sign of escaping or wanting to escape reality, and it's almost like because you don't have anything better to do in winter, you are making that up with watching sports or living in a reality that's not yours, or by reading books. I'm not against reading books. I love reading books. But there's a culture of like, I'm gonna stay in and I'm gonna read Heated Rivalry. I'm gonna read Game of Thrones again for like the 6th time. That's like taking out hours and minutes and years out of your life that you could be outside and making memories and having fun and genuinely living and breathing every moment of it, and sing and dance and just celebrate life. Maybe for some people it is truly celebrating life to stay in and do nothing, just watch TV. But is it? I think about it sometimes. And so I am trying my best to move to a warmer country. I have a place in mind. We'll see if we get there yet, but I cannot live in Canada forever. Winter Wonderland? Lovely, beautiful. I appreciate nature for what it is. I can't complain. God has his ways of blessing different parts of the world with different types of beauty that probably does not resonate with me at the moment, but it's still beautiful. I will visit Canada. I will experience the Winter Wonderland. But do I want to waste away 9 months of every year for the average life expectancy of a Canadian is like 77 years? Hell no. So, yeah. And then on top of that, you go outside, the transit system is so bad. You can actually almost never get anywhere you want to get on time. Streetcars are always delayed. Subways are not working over the weekend. I think GO Transit is like the only thing that works properly here. But even then, the country or the government here heavily underfunds public transit. And it's almost like it's a responsibility of the public or the citizens to contribute to keeping TTC alive. And I just think it's not fair. The country also has very strict civil laws that prevents people from being rehabilitated when they're drug addicts. and they're on the street harassing other people, harassing women, and making it a very fearful condition for normal people to go outside. Like, I feel very unsafe going outside, but because civil rights is so important here, that these people are not forced to be healed and treated for their mental health illnesses. Why do I have to pay with my safety because someone else wants to be on their 4th injection for the day? Why? And then you go to Asia. Even the randomest, the most poor. I've been to Malaysia I was in Malaysia last month, and I went to this mall, which is like not even the biggest mall in that city, in Kuala Lumpur, and their washrooms were so developed. No one is disrespectful. No one is tossing pads or tissues on the floor. No one's peeing on the floor. There's no mess. The toilet seats are like Japan toilet seats. Like you can like, it's like warm, it's clean, it has a bidet. Every single service that you can possibly expect in like a futuristic world, it's there. And it's not even like the top level washroom in Malaysia. And I'm not even talking about Singapore, I'm talking about Malaysia, which is also kind of considered like a developing country, not even like a developed country. Are we really developed here in Canada? Food for thought. And then you go out on the streets. No one's gonna harass you. You could be out at 12 a.m., 1 a.m., running errands, go into the convenience store. Places don't smell like shit. They do have trash cans around the city. They're just there. No one's actually littering around it. No one's pissing on it. No one smells like shit. And as if they didn't take a shower for 2 years. Because they have strict laws to make sure that people are safe. Tourists can come in and have an enjoyable experience. Businesses come in, money flows in the country, and the government genuinely cares about the growth of the country. What does our country do? Just be taking care of refugees, and the normal average public is just going through so much, and like all the tax money that we're paying, what are we paying it for? And the police, they're always so fucking late. The number of crimes I've heard that the person called for help and then they literally passed away by the time the police were there is insane. And crime rates have been like the highest, like stabbing and all these things. Violent crimes in transit system has been the all-time high since I don't know how long. And no one's actually looking after it and like working towards it, and everyone has a blind eye. So I personally feel like unless there is a drastic change in this country, we have a better government, stronger laws, someone that actually gets their shit together and figures everything out and makes the city a safer place to live in, talking about Toronto, I just don't want to live here anymore. People have been recommending me Vancouver, Alberta, British Columbia. How much really is it gonna change? I mean, the homelessness condition in Vancouver is not getting any better either. I don't know what the solution is to this, but I'm sure in this planet there are better countries that might be more suited for me. And I don't think it's always a mental thing, it's internal. I feel like everyone deserves to live in a city that makes them happy, that gives them enough opportunities, that pays them enough to live and be able to pay for basic things, and then after that have enough disposable income to be able to afford simple joys in life without worrying too much about it, and have a safe city where they feel safe for their children and women feel safe to go out at night. And last but not least, just have a good overall quality of life. That's all I want to talk about today, honestly. What can we really do as Canadians to come together and solve this issue? And like, who is actually gonna ever wake up and be like, this is wrong, this needs to be fixed? Why did the LRT system take 20 years to come together when China is literally building airports in 6 months? What kind of infrastructure is wrong over here? Where is it going all wrong? Yeah, that's it for today. Bye.